recording starts, I will start the class. Okay. Okay. Good morning, students. So today I'm going to start the fourth unit, that is Laplace transform and Z transform. So I think can you able to see this diagram, this image? Can you able to see?
Yes.
Okay. So Laplace transform. So if you see, so Laplace transform. So this Laplace transform is you, so we will represent the continuous signal. That means in order to transfer the time domain signal to frequency domain signal, so we will use this Laplace transform. So why we are using means, suppose if you take some differential equation, so in the continuous domain, so in order to solve that differential equation in the time domain for higher orders, higher degrees, so it is very difficult. Okay, so we need to have a tool such a way that whatever the differential equation is there, that we are converting into some algebraic equation. So again, for that algebraic equation, that means you are transforming time domain signal signal into frequency domain signal, and after getting frequency domain signal, you are getting an algebraic expression. Again, if you are applying inverse Laplace transform, so you can get the solution for that differential equation of higher order higher order terms. Okay, so in order to solve this higher order differential equation, and in order to convert a time domain signal into frequency domain signal, so that means in time domain signal there is there is a difficult to find out the frequency. So that means when you are converting into frequency domain, it is easily to find out the frequency, or we can analyze the signal. Okay, like in terms of frequency and spectrum. Okay, so that's why we are going for this Laplace transform. And one more advantage is this some signals, suppose e power at is there. For e power at, the Fourier transform is not applicable. So for some signal, the Fourier transform is not applicable. So by using the Laplace transform, we can apply, we can convert those signals into frequency domain signals. Okay, so that the signals whose Fourier transform is not applicable, so we can use by using this Laplace transform, we can convert the time domain signal to frequency domain signal. Okay, so if you see the Laplace transform, so Laplace transform, okay, so Laplace transform represents a continuous time signal in terms of complex exponential. So that means it represents the continuous time signal in terms of, so we are representing in terms of complex exponential. So that is e power minus st. Okay, so it is used to analyze the signals or functions which are not absolutely integrable. So that means it should, so the signals which are not absolutely integrable, so we can analyze the signals by using the Laplace transform. Okay, so one second. Okay, okay. Can you able to see this sharing?
Yes, sir.
I opened this paint, that's why. So in the images, I'm not able to edit this. That's why I opened in the image file. So here, more effectively, continuous signals can be analyzed. So all the continuous signals, so all types of continuous signals can be analyzed by using the Laplace transform. Okay. So this Laplace transform provides broader characterization compared to Fourier transform. So that means, as I told you, so some signals like e power at signals, e power at. So for this e power at, so we can't apply some Fourier transform. So the which are not absolutely integrable. Okay, it should satisfy some conditions to apply the Fourier transform. So whatever the signals which are not absolutely integrable, we can apply the Laplace transform for those signals. Okay, so coming to the definition, so time domain, to transform the time, as I told you, to transform the time domain signal to S domain. Okay, so we will multiply the given signal with what? Exponential term e power minus st. Okay, and we are integrating that given signal with from minus infinity to infinity. Okay, so that means in order to transform the given signal, time domain signal, into the S domain signal, so we are multiplying the given signal with e power minus st and integrating with the minus infinity to infinity. Okay, so whatever the transformed signal is there, that is represented in x of s. Okay, so denoted by, so the Laplace transform is denoted by letter L. Okay, so that means L of x of t. So is x of t. So that is equal to what? This is equal to x of s. Okay, so Laplace transform of x of t equal to x of s. Okay, so this is the formula. So Laplace transform for the continuous signal is given by x of s equal to integration minus infinity to infinity x of t e power minus st dt. So this is the formula you need to remember. So that means what we are doing, so here this is our continuous time signal. So your continuous time signal, you are multiplying with e power minus st and you are integrating from minus infinity to infinity. Okay, so here s is in complex in nature. So that means you are converting time domain signal into an S domain signal. Okay, so S is in complex term. So that means S equal to what? So S equal to sigma plus j omega. So if you represent in the complex form, so this is so sigma is the real part or attenuation constant. Omega is nothing but the imaginary part. Okay, or complex frequency. So if you represent in coordinate system in S domain, so this is a S domain. Okay, so this is sigma and this is nothing but j omega. Okay, so this is nothing but total S domain. Okay, so this sigma is nothing but the real part and the j omega is nothing but the imaginary part. Okay, so here if you see x of t is defined for t is greater. So this type of transformation we call as a two-sided or bilateral transformation. So that is the summation is between minus infinity to infinity. So that type of transformation we call as a bilateral or so bilateral transformation. Okay, uh, so when t is greater than or equal to 0, okay, so t is greater or equal to 0, that type of transformation, such a way that x of t should be causal signal. So x of t should be causal signal. So this type of transformation we call as a unilateral. So that is integration from 0 to infinity. So that means Laplace transform of x of t equal to x of s, that is equal to integration 0 to infinity x of t into e power minus st dt. Okay, so these two problems, these two formulas are important. Okay, so this is bilateral Laplace transform and this is unilateral Laplace transform. Okay, is it okay? Definition of Laplace transform. So whatever the signals we want to calculate the Laplace transform. Okay, so we need to keep in this equation and we are integrating and we are calculating in terms of S domain. Okay, so that is nothing but x of s or f of s, like that you are getting. Okay, so where s equal to what? Sigma plus j omega. So sigma is real part or attenuation constant. Omega is nothing but the imaginary part or complex frequency. Is it okay? Students, is it okay? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So that is the Laplace transform. And next, inverse Laplace transform. So inverse Laplace transform means Uh, so, so here, what is Laplace transform? Laplace transform means converting that time domain, okay, x of t to what? X of s, okay, s domain, time domain to s domain. So inverse Laplace transform means they given. So this is nothing but Laplace transform. You have to apply Laplace transform. So when you apply Laplace transform for this x of t, you are getting x of s. So that is Laplace transform. So inverse Laplace transform means you are applying x of s. So that means the signal is in terms of s domain. So when you apply inverse Laplace transform, same like inverse Fourier transform. So you are getting the time domain signal x of t. Okay. So when you are applying x of s, you are getting x of t. Okay. So this is nothing but s domain. You are getting in time domain. So that we call as the inverse Laplace transform. Okay. So whatever the s domain, so inverse Laplace transform. So whatever the s domain signal is transformed to time domain signal. So s domain signal is what? X of s, and time domain signal is x of t. Okay. So transforming s domain signal x of s to time domain signal x of t. So we can transform by using inverse Laplace transform. Okay. So this is defined as, so Laplace transform is represented with L. Inverse Laplace means what? L inverse. Okay. So L inverse of what? X of s. L inverse of capital X of s. Okay. So capital X of s. So capital X of s, that is equal to what you are getting, time domain signal x of t equal to 1 by 2 pi j integration sigma minus j infinity sigma plus j infinity x of s into e power st dt. Okay. So previously, what is Laplace transform of x of t? So Laplace transform of x of t is nothing but integration uh, minus infinity infinity x of t e power minus st dt. Okay. So for finding out Laplace transform, so that you are multiplying with what? E power minus st. But here, whenever you want to calculate the inverse Laplace transform, you have to multiply with what? E power plus st. Okay, that you have to remember. So when you are applying Laplace transform, you have to multiply with e power minus st. So when you are applying inverse Laplace transform, so you need to multiply with what? E power st. Okay. So this is one of the one thing you need to remember. And one more difference is, here 1 by anything 1 by 2 pi j 1 by 2 pi is not there. Directly it is from minus infinity infinity. So here, for finding out this inverse Laplace transform, so it should be multiplied with 1 by 2 pi j. So this one you need to remember. So 1 by 2 pi j. So x of t equal to 1 by 2 pi j integration sigma minus j infinity into sigma plus j infinity x of s into e power st dt. So this is the formula you need to remember to calculate the inverse Laplace transform. Okay. So that means if the time domain signal is x of t and the s domain signal is x of s, so this is the Laplace transform phase. So that means converting time domain to s domain, you need to find out Laplace transform, and converting s domain to time domain, you need to calculate inverse Laplace transform. Okay. So this is nothing but the Laplace transform pair. Okay. Now we will see what is the difference between the Fourier transform and Laplace transform. Okay. Is it okay, the inverse Laplace transform? Anything you have doubt? Please respond now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So anything you are feeling difficulty, you ask me. I will. Am I going fast or slow? You need slow type of teaching. Am I going fast?
It is okay.
Okay. Can you able to understand my teaching?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now the relationship between the Fourier transform and Laplace transform. Okay. So you need to find out the relationship between the Fourier transform and Laplace transform. So if you see the Fourier transform, so this is the formula for the Fourier transform. X of j omega equal to integration minus infinity infinity x of t into e power minus j omega t dt. Okay, this is the formula for the Fourier transform. Now, so for what signals the Fourier transform can be, we can calculate the Fourier transform. That signal should be absolutely integrable. So absolutely integrable means, so when you integrate the given signal, mod of that signal from minus infinity infinity, so that should be finite value. That should be less than infinity. Okay, so that when that value is infinity, so that is not absolutely integrable. Okay, so here this is the condition for applicable for Fourier transform. Okay, you already seen in the previous chapter. Okay, now what is Laplace transform? So Laplace transform, if you see, x of s equal to what, integration minus infinity infinity x of t e power minus st dt. Okay, this is the formula, no? So what is s? S equal to what? Sigma plus j omega. Okay, so minus you substitute that. So x of s equal to integration minus infinity x of t e power minus sigma plus j omega. So I substituted this value with so this is the s value. Okay, s equal to what? Sigma plus j omega into t. So putting s equal to what? Sigma plus j omega. Now, as you know, so a power m plus n equal to a power m into a power n. So you are dividing separately. So that means e power minus sigma t minus j omega t. Okay, so this I'm separating. So that means e power minus sigma t into e power minus j omega t. Okay, so next integration minus infinity infinity x of t into e power minus sigma t into e power minus j omega t dt. Okay, so let us consider this is equation 3. Now, what is equation 1? This is the Fourier transform, no? This is the Fourier transform. So now if you compare equation 1 and equation 3, so what you are getting? So Laplace transform of x of t is basically the Fourier transform of x of t into e power minus. So in terms of in place of x of t, you have this value, no? Okay, so if you compare these both equation 1 and equation 2. Okay, so what is equation 1? So if I write here, so equation 1 is x of j omega. So x of j omega equal to integration minus infinity infinity x of t into e power, so x of t into Fourier transform minus j omega t. Okay, so minus j omega t. Okay, so in place of, so if you compare these two equations, in place of x of t, what is there? This one. Okay, so that means Fourier transform of x of t into e power minus sigma t gives the relations. Okay, so basically the Laplace transform of x of t is the Fourier transform of x of t into e power minus sigma t. Okay, so that is the, so that means that when you apply the Fourier transform of this signal, okay, so Fourier transform of this signal, you will get the Laplace transform. Okay, so this is a relationship between the Fourier transform and Laplace transform. So when sigma equal to 0, okay, so when sigma equal to 0, so this equation becomes what? 1. Okay, so s equal to what? J omega. So the above equation becomes the Fourier transform. Okay, so that means basically the Fourier transform on imaginary axis is S plane. Okay, so this is the relationship between the Fourier. So that means when you apply the Fourier transform of x of t into e power minus sigma t, you will get what? X of s. Okay, so you will get so that means this is the relationship between the Fourier transform and Laplace transform. Okay, so Fourier transform and Laplace transform. Okay, so this is the relationship. Is it okay? Understood? Any doubts in this? So in this slide, I explained the inverse Laplace transform and relationship between the Fourier transform and Laplace transform. Any doubts in this? Please respond, Amma, so that I can.
No, sir, no doubt.
No doubt. Okay, so that I can go forward. That's why I'm asking. now convergence or region of convergence. Okay, so in the Fourier transform also you got this region of convergence. Okay, so what is this convergence and region of convergence? Okay, so basically in the equation we got this one, no? So previously there is a relationship between the Fourier transform and Laplace transform. So that means Fourier transform of this signal, we are getting the Laplace transform. Okay, so that means so if the Fourier transform this one exists, okay, so then the Fourier transform of this one exists, then Laplace transform of x of t also exists. Okay, so that means what is the condition for the Fourier transform? So that signal should be absolutely integrable. So that means integration minus infinity to infinity mod of this one x of t e power minus sigma t into dt should be a finite value or should be less than infinity. Okay, so should be absolutely integrable, or then only the Fourier transform exists. Okay, so now, so same thing, the Laplace transform exists when the above condition is satisfied. So that means when this is absolutely integrable, then only the Laplace transform exists. So that means so whether this one is absolutely integrable or not integrable depends on which value, this term. Okay, so in this term again, in this term it is depending on which value, it is depending on sigma. Okay, so that means the range of the value. So ROC is defined as the range of the value of sigma. Okay, so that means so e power minus sigma t is there. So that means when you are keeping sigma equal to 0, so e power 0 equal to 1, e power 0 equal to, you are getting 1. Okay, so that means you are getting a finite value. Suppose when sigma equal to infinity, okay, sigma equal to infinity you are keeping, so that means e power minus infinity equal to what? 1 by e power infinity. So that means 1 by infinity, you are getting 0. So 0 is also one finite value. Okay, so when you are keeping sigma equal to minus infinity, okay, minus infinity, so you are getting e power infinity. So that means what you are getting? E power infinity. Okay, so that means depending on this sigma value, so the our Laplace transform will decide, means will be absolutely integrable. Okay, so it depends on the sigma value. So that means you can define the region of convergence ROC as the range of value of sigma for which the Laplace transform convergence. Okay, the Laplace transform converges is called region of convergence. So that means in this equation, so the sigma decides either the given value is having the finite value or not. Okay, so which is having absolute value, that means it should be finite value. So that's why we can define this the range of value of sigma for which the Laplace transform converges is called region of convergence, ROC, or region of convergence. Okay, so so that means we can say that Laplace transform of x of signal is given by this one. Okay, so that means same another example, the value of s for which so x of t into e power minus h t converges. So that means anyway s equal to what? Sigma plus j omega, no? Sigma plus j omega. So that means the region of convergence is depending on sigma, means it should be depend on s. Okay, so that means that's why the value of s. So this is one more definition. The value of s for which this integral is converges. Okay, this should be have some finite value. Okay, so finite value, then only then that signal, that thing we call as that definition we call as a ROC, region of convergence. Okay, so this is about the region of convergence. So this is one of the important topic. So you need to find out, means region of convergence. You need to define what is region of convergence. Okay.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Sir, my small request.
Yes, sir.
So whenever we are taking these topics, now take the reference of the previous question paper. So it gives more confidence to the students. So the way in which way the questions will be asked in the examination, because it is
Yes, sir.
typically mathematical related subject, right?
Yes,
Most
sir.
mathematics. Just you keep your question paper as a reference whenever.
Okay.
So
Okay.
whenever you are giving such a important references, just
Yes,
give
sir.
the reference of the question paper also, and just post that question also at the time
Yes,
when
sir.
you are teaching that subject. So that gives
Yes.
lot of the confidence in the student. Okay, that we can solve like this way. So with reference to that questions, if you are explaining, that is going to give more clarity that how to approach to this question, in which way the answer should be represented.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
So guys, all of you, good morning. So because of
Good morning, sir.
good morning. So thank you, Mr. Sanat.
Yes, sir.
Sanat
Yes.
class,
Yes,
Sanat
sir.
is responding. Okay. So it is very nice. Uh, so in fact, if you give response, because virtually we are taking classes, we don't know who is attending properly, who is not concentrating. It is very difficult. So it is only your response is going to give us the kind of the reference that the students are following, students are understanding. And the situation is like that for the betterment of their future. The Sharad sir uh, actually resigned from the college, and I requested Sanat sir to take up this one. We thought of appointing a new faculty member, but the situation is like it is going to consume more time. So not to wasting our time, so I requested Sanat sir to take up this subject. Okay, and really I thank Sanat sir for readily accepting taking this subject. So my request to all of you is that is there any problem? Immediately you come back to faculty member and ask, clarify the doubts. The subject is very, very difficult, and also I request all of you to practice this subject. Unless you practice, it is very difficult to reproduce in the examination, because completely it is mathematic oriented. But I can also say that this subject is one of the scoring subject. Okay, so if you practice well with reference to your previous question papers, okay, definitely you are going to score well. Because once if you understand the concept and the procedure, so almost the questions is also mostly the repeating kind of the questions with a little variation. So if you understand concept well, so how to substitute the values, what type of signal. So if you understand well, so I'm sure that you are going to score well in this subject. Not only the passing is very, very simple. You can score well in this subject. So there are certain subjects which are completely theory oriented. So their passing becomes easy, but scoring becomes very, very difficult. So here I would like to mention that so you can score well. So this scoring is very much useful for your placement in 4-1, because unless you keep some 70 and 7.5 CGPA, you can't ensure that each and every placement they are coming to the campus, okay, you will be the eligible. But if you keep 7.5 plus above, then you are not refrained from the any sort of the placement. So that is very, very important. So the second very important point is that don't keep any backlog. Okay, so every time you clear your backlog so that you will be placement ready. Many times I am mentioning this point. Okay, some students really they feel very bad by the time when they are reaching to 4-1. Okay, they are missing opportunity just because of one backlog. Very good opportunities. Okay, you please don't fall in that particular way. Okay, so please carry on. So any difficulty, any problem, please discuss with the faculty member and discuss with me. So let us look out for good solutions. Okay. So and I request faculty member to take the reference of question paper so that that gives the students have to practice this subject. So soon after completion of the topic, just write once. without seeing. Write once. That gives lot of confidence in you. Okay. Thank you. To carry on, sir.
So this is one example. So we need to calculate the Laplace transform and also ROC. Okay, so you have to calculate the Laplace transform and region of convergence for the basic signal. So that is x of t equal to e power minus at into u of t. So this is the exponential signal and multiplied with the unit step signal. Okay, so so this is defined. So x of t equal to e power minus at into u of t for a greater than 0. Okay, and e power minus at for t greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so this signal is defined for t greater than or equal to 0 only. Okay, so this is equal to 0 for t less than 0. Okay, so what is the formula for the Laplace transform? So Laplace transform of x of t equal to x of s. Okay, integration minus infinity. So bilateral Laplace transform you are applying. So integration minus infinity to infinity x of t into e power minus st dt. Okay, so what is x of t? So x of t equal to, you substitute this one. Okay, so e power minus at into u of t e power minus st dt. Okay, so next, so uh, as you know, u of t equal to what? If you define the unit step signal, so this is a unit step signal. So this is defined u of t equal to what? 1 for t greater than 0 and 0 for t less than 0. Okay, 1 for t greater than or equal to 0. So this is the definition for u of t. So that means so from minus infinity to 0, e power minus at u of t e power minus st dt, plus you can split this this bilateral Laplace transform like this, from 0 to infinity e power minus at u of t e power minus st dt. Okay, so anyway, from t, when t is less than 0, okay, so u of t equal to what? 0. So that means that the total term becomes 0. Okay, it is defined for t is greater than or equal to 0 only. Okay, so that means, so from 0 to infinity e power minus at into e power minus st dt. Okay, so that means if you take minus common, you are getting e power minus s into minus into s plus a into t dt. Okay, simply you are combining these two, a power m into a power n, a power m plus n. So you are taking minus common, s plus a into t. Okay, so so what is the integration of e power at? So e power at e power ax dx equal to what? E power ax by a, no? So that means same thing. So you need to so for this signals and system, so you need to thorough about the integration as well as definite integrals. Okay, so that I already you got in the intermediate intermediates. Okay, so you should be thorough about the integration. So this is the integration of e power ax. Okay, so so that is so e power minus of s plus a divided by minus of s plus a. Okay, from the interval 0 to infinity. So anyway, minus 1 by s plus a is constant. Okay, so I kept outside. Okay, and e power minus s plus a into t. So if you are applying the limits, so what you are getting? E power minus infinity minus e power 0. Okay, so e power minus infinity is how much? So 1 by e power infinity. So that is 1 by infinity. So that is equal to what? 0. Okay, so this is 0 and e power 0 is how much? 1. So 0 minus 1 minus 1. Okay, so that means here you are getting 0 minus 1. Okay, so minus into minus plus. So that means 1 by s plus a. So that means Laplace transform of e power at u of t equal to what? 1 by s plus a. Okay, and this should be convergent. That means ROC for this one is so real part of S, okay, real part of S should be greater than minus E, okay. So then only this signal is convergent, okay. So when ROC is nothing but when S is greater than A, then only the signal is going to be convergent, okay. So like this you can find out the Laplace transform of e power, the basic signal e power minus at into u of t. Had you understood the students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, had you understood this problem?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Simple.
Yes,
Just
sir.
you need to find out the just substitute this whatever the signal given, okay, whatever the signal is given, you substituted in this equation, and just so based on this property, so the step signal, so you calculated from minus infinity to 0 is anyway it is 0, so you calculated from 0 to infinity, okay. So you applied some definite integral, simple definite integral, and you applied those integrals, and you have calculated, that is you are getting, so that means e power, so you can write e power minus at into u of t, the Laplace transform is what, 1 by s plus a, such a way that s is ROC is what is ROC, s is greater than minus e. That is about the basic signal, okay, Laplace transform. So here, one second, I'm sharing this. So we will go deep into this, how we can find out the ROC. Okay, so we'll go deep into this. So you got this 1 by s plus a, no? So 1 by s plus a. So that is what is ROC? S is greater than minus e. So we will see how this one is. You got this one. Okay. So here, if you apply. Okay, so if you see, so e power minus s plus a into t by s plus a from integration 0 to infinity, no? So this is not minus, so this is a plus. So you are applying limits. Limit t tends to infinity, e power minus s plus a into t by s plus a. Limit t tends to 0, e power minus s plus a into t by s plus a. Okay, so after applying the limits, so what you are getting, e power minus s plus a into infinity divided by minus s plus a minus e power minus, so here you should get minus, okay. So s plus a into 0 by minus s plus a. So what is s? S equal to what? S equal to sigma plus j omega, okay. So so if you see this one, so let us consider s plus a as a k value, okay, s plus a as k value. So what you are getting, e power minus k into infinity, so into e power j omega into infinity. So that means s equal to what? S equal to sigma plus j omega. So sigma plus j omega plus a, okay. So sigma plus a I considered as k, okay. So that means e power minus k into infinity, e power minus j omega into infinity divided by s plus a. So anyway, this value is e power 0 equal to what? This value is 1 by s plus a. So where k equal to sigma plus a. So sigma of you can write this one as sigma minus of minus a. Okay. So when sigma is greater than minus a, okay. So k is positive. So that means when you are seeing this one, so k becomes positive. So e power minus k infinity. So k becomes positive means e power minus infinity. So what is e power infinity? 1 by, so e power minus infinity is 1 by e power infinity. 1 by infinity. What you are getting? You are getting 0. Okay. So when k is positive, okay, when sigma is greater than minus a, okay, so k becomes positive. So when k is positive, you are getting a finite value 0. Okay, so when sigma is less than in a, okay, so when sigma is less than a, this k becomes what? Negative. Okay, so e power minus k infinity, so that is equal to what? So e power minus k infinity, so here k is negative means e power minus of minus k into infinity, so e power k infinity, so this is equal to what? E power infinity. So e power infinity equal to what? Infinity. Okay, so that means so x of s, our x of s converges, so that means which is having the finite value, you are getting a finite value when sigma is greater than minus e. Okay, it does not converge for sigma less than minus e. Okay, so that's why you got the ROC, so when sigma is greater than minus a, so x of s is given by 1 by s plus e. Okay, so what is ROC? ROC is so sigma is nothing but we can call this as the real part of s, no? So real part of s. So that means ROC is sigma is greater than minus a. That implies real part of s. ROC real part of s is greater than minus a. So like this you have to calculate the ROC. Okay, is it okay? Had you understood how I calculated the ROC for the given signal?
Yes, sir.
Students, yeah, is it okay? No. So that means if you see the S plane, okay. So this is a sigma and this is j omega axis. So sigma is, so this is minus a. Okay. So this is S plane. So this is the point sigma equal to minus a. Okay. So ROC is what? ROC is towards right half of S plane. Okay, so this is the whole thing of ROC. So you can draw this one. Okay, so if you draw the ROC, so sigma j omega. Okay, so here you are getting minus a. Okay, so if you draw a line, so ROC is towards right half of S plane. Okay, this is the ROC. Like this, you have to calculate the ROC. Okay, so we'll stop here. So in the next class, we'll see some properties of Laplace transform. So after completing the properties, we'll go for the problems. So how we can apply the properties and all these things. Okay. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Any doubts in this today's class?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. You can exit the class. So in the next class, we'll see about the properties of a Laplace transform.